Let's do Richard McCook's 10 final questions for VC video makers. Ahoy everybody and welcome to this video. This is a response to Richard McCook's third annual 10 questions for VC makers, which he's calling these the final 10. So as I say, he's done this for the last 3 years, where it's just 10 questions for final community video makers, just interested in our responses. So if I can read my writing, I've made a note of what the questions are, and without any more ado, let's go through them. So question 1 is, do you ever struggle to come up with content for video ideas? No, is the short answer. I've got lots of ideas and lots of videos I want to make. The struggle I have is time to do them. Most of the things I want to do, apart from, I'm indicating like that because I've just recorded my April haul video. Apart from haul videos, which obviously, apart from going out and buying the stuff, is quite easy to do. Most of the stuff involves a lot of preparation work, of listening, because it's either the classic album series, in which case I need time to be able to sit and record and do it. It's album reviews, which again means I need to listen to an album a number of times to do. It's album rankings, again, which means I need to go through the catalogue and listen to them. And I've sort of already exhausted the acts that I don't really need to listen to, apart from Prince, but that's going to be a big one. And I do want to re-listen to the later albums because I haven't given them that much time compared to the earlier albums. Sort of from 2000 onwards, I need to re-listen to a few times. But I do want to do a big Prince album ranking video. So, it's all stuff that needs preparation away from a VC side of it. But my films, it's obviously got to watch a film to review it. Or if it's a ranking, again, I need to re-familiarise myself with maybe one or two of the films in a filmography. So yeah, it's not the ideas that I'm struggling with, it's time to do them or to prepare for them. Question 2, if purchasing subscribers were an option, would you? No. Although I obviously celebrated my 1,000 subscribers with a contest, and will do so when I reach milestones, my subscriber count is sort of an added bonus to making these videos. I've started making them more for me than for anyone else, if you see what I mean, and the fact that people are subscribing and watching them is just an added bonus. But I feel no pressure at all to increase my subscriber count, and so certainly would not pay for them. Question 3, do you like to mention how much you pay for your records? Yes, I do. I don't really mind either way whether I mention it, but I nearly always get people ask if I don't mention it. If I'm going through a haul and I miss saying how much a certain record was, then I nearly always get how much was. I'm always quite interested in other people's videos, how much they pay for stuff, just to compare and contrast. Gives me an idea of if I am overpaying or getting bargains or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if I didn't want to pay that much for a certain record, I would not pay it. I've mentioned before, but my local record shop, Slice of Vinyl in Gosport, has a copy of Parliament's first album in that's £80, and that's just more than I'm willing to pay for it. So it's still sat there, and although I really want the album, I don't want to pay more than probably £50 for it. So it will stay there, certainly until I change my mind or until he gives up and reduces it. So although I happily pay decent money for records and buy a lot of records, I am conscious of how much they cost and whether they're worth that to me. But yeah, I mention it purely to stop people bugging me to ask how much they are. But yeah, as I say, I'm curious how much people pay for their records, so I understand why people are. And if I don't mention how much they are, I can't get the people who inevitably appear in the comments saying, oh, you pay too much for records, you just need to go to a car boot fair and they're only £1 and stuff like that, which always makes me laugh. Question 4, are there genres of music you really don't like and would never show on your channel? Yes. There's one, basically. So yeah, this isn't music that I own but won't show on my channel out of shame or anything like that. I have literally shown every record, CD, apart from bootlegs, but that's just because they're not accessible anymore. And magazine compilations, which one day I might go through. But there's not a lot to say about those because I can, apart from maybe a track or two, I won't remember what they sound like because I just listen to them once and then file them. Anyway, yeah, other the proper albums, CDs, singles, I have shown everything that I own. I'm not ashamed of anything that I own. But there's one genre of music that I really do not like, and that is country and western, and I mean proper, you know, my dog's dead, my wife's run off with the farmer type country and western. I don't mind country music, so although I don't tend to buy it, but there's, country rock is fine, country pop like Taylor Swift I like. I don't mind a bit of Dolly Parton, although again not enough that I'd ever want to buy her records. Same with Tammy Wynette, things like that. But old school country and western, I hate myself and I want to die type music does nothing for me whatsoever. So I cannot foresee any time when I will be buying that and showing that on my channel. The only other one that I don't hate it, but it's not something I would ever listen to through choice, is opera. Again, it all gets a bit too loud and screechy for me. I've got Barcelona by Freddie Mercury and Montserrat Caballé, which is fine, but I would never sit down and listen to La Traviata or something like that. So it's unlikely that I'd ever show that. Dance music. Again, I like dance music, in the right environment. Obviously, not that I ever go clubbing anymore and haven't done since late 90s probably. But, dance music in a club I like. There's some dance music where I will happily sit and listen to, things like Fatboy Slim and Propeller Heads and sort of mid-90s big beat is sort of the stuff I like. Also, Groove Armada, people like that. But sort of drum and bass, again, Massive Attack are fine. I'm saying this, there are sort of exceptions that prove the rule, but modern drum and bass certainly, which one of my friends likes a fair bit, and when you sat in the car driving along, it's good driving music and I will happily listen to it as she streamed it, but I wouldn't buy a modern drum and bass record to listen to, and I wouldn't sit at home and listen to drum and bass. So yeah, there are a few genres. The only one I actually really do not like is country and western though. Question 5. When watching other people's videos, do you flick through them until they show an artist or an album that you like? No, is a short answer. I don't watch that many VC videos. I've got a handful of people who I watch every video from, and then a few who I will watch if they're showing, it looks like they're going to be showing something that interests me. I subscribe to quite a few, mostly people who have entered my contests. That's sort of my little thank you for, them subscribing and entering. But yeah, there's very few people who I watch every video from, and those that I do, I watch because of the people rather than what they show. Just because I like them, I like watching them. Some of them I've become friends with, like Richard, and Rob Walker and people like that. So, if they show something that is no interest to me, I'll still watch it. I think there's one of Richard's videos that I haven't watched, which was an ABBA one, because I really do like ABBA. I've watched many of his ABBA videos, but there was one that I just gave up on after about 2 minutes. But that might have just been the mood I was in that day anyway. But no, so even ABBA, which I have no interest in whatsoever, I'll sit and watch because it's Richard, basically. So no, I don't whiz through people's videos. I might sort of switch off and be distracted, but by and large, if I'm watching a video, it's because I like the person, so I will watch it all. What are my thoughts on shorts? I don't use them myself. I've watched a few, although not really the VC ones, but from other channels that I follow, you know, cooking channels, things like that. I'll happily watch them. I don't really... I'm not quite sure what I want to say here. I was going to say see the point of them. I do see the point of them, but they're just, you know, mimicking Instagram stories and things like that. And, you know, it's all... And TikTok, it's just another version of the same thing. And it's not really what I want YouTube to be. You know, I want longer videos. You know, the best thing YouTube ever did was to stop the 10-minute or whatever it was maximum video length. You know, I want to watch a video for its natural length, if you see what I mean. And a quick, you know, 30 seconds or a minute clip of something very rarely satisfies. So it's not something I can ever imagine using myself. Not something I actively seek to watch. I mean, if one crops up on one of the channels where I watch everything, then I'll watch it. But yeah, by and large, do nothing for me. Do I ever use the community tab? No. So as some of you may be aware, I watch YouTube on my telly. So there is no community tab, as far as I'm aware anyway. I've never seen it on the TV version of YouTube. So if I want, that's one of the reasons why I don't comment that often on other people's videos, because I then have to get my phone out or switch my computer on or whatever, open up a different app, go to the video, get the comments. It's just the added faff. So unless I've got something that I really need to express, then that's why I don't comment on other people's videos very often. So similarly, the YouTube app on my phone, I literally only use to upload videos. I don't watch YouTube on that app. So I'm aware of the community tab and I've seen people's posts on it, but I never really use it as a tool. That said, if enough of you say to me, actually, we'd quite like you to use it, you know, engage a bit more, you know, do polls or what have you, or just, you know, if there's been a bit of a hiatus. I have wondered, you know, when there has been a bit of a gap between videos, whether I should pop on and just say, you know, something is coming, just busy at the moment or stuff like that. But I also don't know how many people really care how frequent my videos are. So if enough, you know, there's a few of you who say actually do that, that would be nice, then I might start using it more. But so far, I've not felt the need. Question 8. Is there anything about your videos you don't like? Short answer is yes, me. But that's my own hang-ups. I mean, could they be better presented? Yes. You know, could my lighting be better? My bedroom's awkward for lighting because most of the day I have very little natural light coming in. So I tend to just leave my curtains closed anyway, because also I'm right at the front, by the front door. You know, people can see in easily if they want it, although we're secluded, but if any delivery drivers or anything came up, they could just see through easily. So the lighting, I'm relying on ring lights and overhead lights and what have you. So yes, the lighting could be better. Sound I'm quite happy with. The microphone I use seems to do the job nicely. I think I've made a bit of a rod for my own back with the intros and the different categories of videos, but they give it a little professional-ish sheen, which I quite like. So that sort of stuff I'm more or less happy with. Yes, it is generally, and you know, I'm not saying this out asking for compliments or anything like that, but really the only thing that puts me off my own videos is me. Question 9, is there anything about other people's videos you don't like? There's no real, you know, God, I hate it when people do that. I'm not Rob Walker. I haven't got a massive list, which did make me chuckle as he went through his one on his response to this. Oh, that's the other thing that annoys me about my own videos is my umming and erring. because I don't prepare what I'm going to say, there is a lot of umming and erring, which does bug me, but it's too much to edit out. Videos would be really choppy. There you go. But as for other people's videos, no, I mean, it doesn't bother me if they're, you know, not as professional, if they're in the wrong, you know, if they're 4:3 instead of widescreen or anything like that. Nothing like that bothers me. You know, as long as the lighting's good enough that you can see. There is one channel, and I'm not going to obviously mention any names. There is one channel where the picture is always squeezed, so an album cover looks rectangular rather than square, and also normally the lighting's very poor, so sometimes you can't really see the covers. So that's not, it gets to me a bit, and sometimes I end up giving up on that person's videos. I thought of something as I was saying that, and now I've forgotten what it was. Let me have a sip of coffee, which would annoy Rob, I know, but it's thinking time and I need to wet my whistle. Oh, no, that didn't help. What was it? I was talking about that and the aspect ratio of the record sleeves and... Oh, that's it. It doesn't annoy me. It's not something I don't like about other people's videos, but it always makes me laugh. And I suppose it does sometimes irritate me slightly, but it's when people mispronounce really famous band names. There's an example in my head, but if I say it, it's going to give away who I'm talking about, so I won't say it. But, you know, I can understand, you know, some names and some foreign acts and things like that, not knowing how to pronounce them properly. But this particular act is one of the biggest pop acts of the 1980s. They're very, very famous, you know. But there's one YouTuber who always mispronounces their name. But yeah, I'm not going to name names because that's not fair. And I like the channel and I watch all their videos and I like the person, so I won't spoil that. But otherwise, no, there's nothing really that irritates me. You know, if somebody's presentation style or something like that is not to my taste, I just don't watch their videos. It's as simple as that. I don't watch many American YouTubers, again, not through any prejudice or anything like that, or even because of their presentation style or anything. I just find with them that a lot of the music they show is of little interest to me. There's, you know, exceptions and I will watch those, but there's not many American acts I particularly listen to. Prince obviously is an exception to that rule, but a lot of, you know, sort of classic American rock does very little for me, so I don't tend to listen to it. So therefore people showing off those albums, again, unless I particularly like that person, I don't tend to watch. But that's not something, you know, specific that I dislike about people's videos. It's just not to my taste, if that makes sense. I know what I mean. Final question. If you were to stop making videos, would I close my channel? I'll try and read my own writing here. What's the second option? Anyway, what would I do? I can't read my own writing. So if I decided to stop making videos, what would I do? So no, I wouldn't close the channel entirely. Is it hide the videos or something like that? I can't remember. Anyway, I'd keep the channel open so that anybody could watch them at any time. You know, however many I've done, and it must be hundreds, possibly approaching thousands now. You know, I see no reason not to let people have the pleasure of watching them, just because I decided not to make any more. Also, part of the question was, would I make an announcement about it? I feel I would. Just because I know there's people who've suddenly disappeared from making videos, both VC and non-VC. And I often sort of, suddenly think about that channel and think, oh, what happened to them? I hope they're okay. Stuff like that. So sort of the nagging back of a mind, God, I hope nothing horrible has happened to that person, would make me want to maybe, if I did decide to stop, make an announcement just to say, I've decided I'm not making any videos, this is why, but I'm okay, or whatever, or even I'm not okay, I've got a horrible terminal illness, or whatever the reason is. But I think I'd want to make that announcement just in case there were people who cared. At the end of the day, if people didn't care, they don't have to watch the announcement. But in case there were people who would have had a concern, it would put their mind at ease. So yeah, I think I would make an announcement. But yeah, I would keep the channel open. So that is it. That's my response to Richard's 10 questions. I've waffled on as usual, but hey, it was good content. One less video to have to do much preparation for. So thank you, Richard, as always, for doing these, and thank you for your channel. As you know, I really enjoy all your videos, even most of the other ones, and I consider you a friend, so thank you. Thanks everyone for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks, bye.